again, everyone. Welcome to this latest edition of Blues Clues. So good to have you with us here from Gulfstream Park in our XBTV studios. Happy to welcome trainer Kathleen O'Connell to the show.
Thank you very much.
So good to have you here. And Kathleen, as we tape this in late August, you are very close to a 2,000 win milestone in your career of training thoroughbreds. When you hear that number, what do you think about?
It's a big number, and it's hard to believe that it's going to happen.
Well, you're just about there. In fact, by my math, I think you're 7 wins away here.
Six.
So there you go. So, I mean, you are on the cusp of really hitting an amazing milestone. Did the years go by quickly when you think back to growing up in Detroit and walking hots at Detroit City Racecourse? I mean, really.
It's really gone fast. It really has. I can say that the years have slipped by. Even to think that, you know, some of my better horses that watching the Travers yesterday, which Blazing Sword was in, that was in 1998. So, you know, it doesn't seem that long, but yet it is that long. So, you know, the time does fly. They always say the older you get, the faster it goes, and I do believe that.
Now, when you look back over the years, obviously being a female trainer, a trailblazer, many would say, what comes to mind between maybe starting out, say, back in the mid-'80s, walking hots and all that stuff, to now? Do you see a change as far as females maybe riding or training at this point?
I think a lot of the females that have gotten involved in the sport started out on the bottom, like I did. A lot of them start out riding, exercising, and working for, you know, trainers with sizable stables, and it gives them a good background in a lot of things.
And your profession, you've had a number of good horses come through the barn. We were talking about Blazing Sword. What memories do you have of Blazing Sword, who I had talked to a couple of people before we met on this show, people that have been watching South Florida racing for a long time, and they said he was just a terrific horse.
He was. He was really a terrific horse. And, you know, the fact that he ran dirt, turf, short, long, and the fact that he had a pretty long campaign, and the fact that he made over $1 million, you know, it's hard for any horse to do. It's a little easier now, I think, with the purse structure changing, but, you know, back then that was a hard feat.
What's it like for you now? Because you've got a pretty big string here in South Florida, over 30 horses. You also run quite often in the Mid-Atlantic, so you're split between Jersey and South Florida now. What's that like for you, juggling both pretty big operations?
It's a balance of good health. I have a very good support team, and it's the balance of, you know, still being hands-on. I'm 1 week in Florida and 1 week up north, and 1 week in Florida and 1 week up north. So it's a lot of traveling, but it's just important to stay on top of things.
And I'm sure you've had help that have been with you for quite some time. Just asking a few people that have known you over the years, the one trait that kept coming up was your loyalty. How important has that been to building up your business as being a trainer?
Oh, I think loyalty is important in any business, and, you know, I've been blessed by having Brian Smeek work for me for like 18 years.
Wow.
And my assistant down here, Jesus Ferrer, he's been with me almost 10 years. And it's just the combination of people, and it's, I think it's keeping an eye on everything. As far as, I think everybody has something to add, whether it's the hot walker or the exercise person, the groom, and it's just paying attention to details.
When you think back, Songbird running out of a great race mare that you trained at Ivana Vinalot, what was that like watching Songbird come of age, be a future Hall of Famer and winning all those races?
It's great. It's like watching your kids grow up, you know. You hate for them to leave, and, you know, you always have mixed emotions when people sell horses or they go other places, but you still want them to do good.
How about the challenges to somebody starting out, a young trainer, young rider, just wanting to break into the game the way you say it?
It's very difficult. You know, it doesn't matter whether you're a trainer, I think, or a rider. You're going to sacrifice a lot. You're going to sacrifice, you know, relationships possibly, time with family, time with friends, because this is a very consuming business. And it's not a business where you shut the door and then you open it back up in the morning and everything's the same, because it changes. It changes, it changes. And I think people have to be dedicated and have a lot of perseverance. There was a great article about Angel Cordero and, you know, how he started. And basically, I mean, those are true stories. And it's the people that don't give up that go on.
Sure. And I'm sure you've had a lot of determination and fight, because talking about your career, you don't come from, say, a long line of horse people. I mean, you're kind of the odd gal out. I mean, you wound up at the track just with your love of animals, I'm assuming. I mean, you've really had to earn your way in the industry.
Exactly. And I mean, it just goes to show you, no, it's not an overnight sensation, and look how many years. But I mean, I started out with 2 horses, you know.
Wow. Unbelievable.
And the rest is hard work and perseverance.
And hard work has obviously, on the horse side of things, gotten Stormy Embrace to be perhaps one of the best filly or mare sprinters in the country. Just under 2 months ago, she won the Princess Rudy here at Gulfstream. How is she doing, and what does the future hold for her?
She's doing very good, and we're hoping to use the Florida bred stake here as a springboard. And you know, I couldn't be happier. She's doing very well, and she loves the Gulfstream track, so it just seemed the most sensible race to pick.
Neat. So potential a Breeders' Cup start for her, and you are only 6 victories away from 2,000. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's trainer Kathleen O'Connell in the hunt for 2,000. Look for Stormy Embrace sometime soon here in South Florida, and we'll see you next time on Blues Clues.